Hey everyone, Darktoylord here. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Blast-Off. Now normally when I do these videos, I usually keep the figures sealed until I film the video. However, this is actually a reshoot. I've opened this up once already, then determined that I had to do the video all over again. So it is what it is. Here's the character. Let's put the toy to the side for a second. Just take a look at the packaging. It's the clear plastic packaging that you typically see with these figures. It has the space in there for the comic book, the IDW comic book. We have the bubble for the toy plus accessories. I flip it around. We have a little bit of a blurb, top left-hand corner, about the character. Then a photograph of the character in robot mode, followed by vehicle mode. And you can see there they promote this transformation in 10 steps. Top right hand corner we have a schematic of Bruticus, and then right below him all the characters needed to form Bruticus. So we have Blast Off, Vortex, Onslaught, Swindle, and Brawl. One thing that I have noticed is that there's no mention of Combaticons anywhere on any of the packages so far, so I'm guessing they're just promoting them as Decepticons and leaving it at that. Alright, so putting this aside, let's look at the contents. So we have the IDW comic book. We have the instruction manual. Blast Off's rifle. As well as his combiner accessory. So here is Blast Off. Now Blast Off is not a new toy per se, it's actually a remold. We've seen this body a couple times in the past. First one I believe was the Aerialbot Firefly. So it's a slight retool, pretty much the same body and vehicle and transformation. Main difference being the color scheme plus a new head sculpt. So this is, so you can see here, it's definitely Blast Off's head. And they did actually a pretty good job on it. In regards to articulation, head is on a ball joint. Shoulders on ball joints. Elbows 180, and it's kind of ratcheted. No articulation in the wrists. The waist can swivel 360. Upper thighs swivel as well. And then the knees. In robot mode, it's kind of got a double jointed system for the transformation, but the robot mode is joined 90-degree bend. And then nothing for the ankles. Alright, so let's go ahead and transform him into plane mode, or jet mode. So let's do this. We're going to spin the head around. Let's bring the nose of the plane. We're going to fold it up and then down. And it's going to cover over the head. And the legs, we're going to open them up. And using that double jointed system, they're going to collapse in on themselves. And then we can close it. Oh, and one thing you want to make sure when you're doing this, you want to make sure the waist and the thighs are perfectly straight. If they're not straight, things are not going to peg together properly. So I had the waist was slightly pivoted, so it wasn't lining up perfectly. I fixed that. There's still a gap here that should not be there, so obviously something is still out of line. But just, I guess, something to be aware of. If you get gaps like this, that means something is not perfectly lined up. But anyway, rather than spending any more time on that, you just want to make sure the tail fin's in place. These wings are folded down. You can fold down these wings And then with the arms, actually fold these up for the time being. We'll put them down later. So we want to take these arms and we're going to fold them down here. So it's kind of like a double jointed system. There's an inner shoulder, outer shoulder. So the inner shoulder, let's bring all the way down. And then the arm will peg in just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Peg that in. And then fold the wings down into place. And there is the jet mode. It's alright. It's not perfect. You see the robot arms exposed here. It's kind of an eyesore. And you can see them from the bottom as well. But you know, it is what it is. The main purpose of these toys is the combined mode. So you gotta allow for certain flaws, small flaws here and there. But all in all, it still looks pretty neat. Okay, transforming into leg mode. We're going to start in robot mode, just like the instructions signify. First off, let's go ahead. We're going to fold the head down, exposing the combiner peg. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up the bottoms of the legs and collapse them in on themselves. And again, try to make sure that everything is lined up properly. Otherwise, all these components are not going to peg in correctly. There, got it. It just seems like every time I get something pegged in, something becomes unpegged. So I just had to make sure everything was lined up correctly. The waist was straight, the thighs were straight, and now everything pegs in properly. So once you get things pegged in, we're going to make sure the tail fin is still folded up. The arms are folded up. That can stay folded back like that. And we're just going to take the robot arms and plug them in on the sides. Like so. Fold in the wings. And then we're going to grab our combiner accessory. Make sure it's in foot mode. It's going to plug in right here at the bottom. Like so. Next we're going to transform Blastoff into his arm mode. So from robot mode, what we're going to do, we're going to take the head, let's spin the head around, and then fold it back to expose the giant combiner peg. We'll take the legs and we're going to peg them together. And then we can spin the waist around 180. The robot arms, we're just going to pop them up. Actually, not up. We're going to fold them behind the... Actually, yeah, let's fold them up like this. And then down the back like that. Alright, and then once you have it like so, it's just a matter of attaching the hand. So grab your combiner accessory, make sure it is transformed into hand mode. Plug it into this port here at the bottom. There you go, and you are all set. So we have one Bruticus arm. So again, I thank you so very much for tuning in. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.